As many of you by this point are aware, there's been a lot of backlash when it comes to primetime Deion Sanders, who was the coach of Jackson State, who has departed Jackson State and went to Colorado. A lot of people have actually labeled him a sellout for doing such. Uh, I think it's I think it's kind of incredible to label someone a sellout for excelling in what you do, but a lot of people are of the idea of you came to Jackson State because you wanted to save HBCUs or give them credibility, which he did. That's the whole thing. And let's be honest about it. He
Hmm.
gave a lot of credibility. He put it on the map. I wasn't aware of Jackson State. And the fact that in 3 years, this man only had 5 losses.
Hmm.
So it's not like he was struggling. He dominated where he was. I think the last season actually was undefeated.
Hmm.
And what people don't really give him credit for is how much money he put into that college. He paid for the locker room, I believe a tennis court, the uniforms. He fed those students. That was his money. And I didn't even know the negative things that were going on as far as someone broke into his office, somebody broke into his car. Like things were happening
Hmm.
that he wasn't speaking on because he's a man of class and integrity, and he's not going to speak on that.
Right.
And I heard an analyst, and what I got to say, what I really find funny are these sports analysts that call Dion a sellout. And I guarantee the majority of them are actually sellouts because during, let's say, a Kyrie event, they were silent or they condemned him. But Dion's a
Hmm.
sellout though. But that's a whole different topic. So someone tried to use this in a conversation saying, well, Dion said God led him to go to Jackson State. He's like, well, did God tell him to leave? I was taken back by that because number one, who are you to even judge or question what God told that man? Like,
Exactly. Yeah.
who are you to say that? And what if God did say that was just the starting for his path because he did dominate there and now it's for time for him to go do something else? Who are you to dictate what he should or shouldn't be doing?
Hmm.
I found that really offensive, I guess, more than anything, because you're going to tell somebody, look, God told you to do this, but did they really? Don't question that.
Right.
That's not on you. I got some other high. I don't want to go off on a tangent, but what's your thoughts on the matter?
I mean, I feel like black people, like we can't have it both ways, right? Like we can't, wish for, well, be thankful that somebody of his magnitude, go into a HBCU and change that program around, and then at the
Hmm.
same time we complain about lack of opportunities for black men and PWIs or the NFL. You can't have it both ways.
Yeah,
And I think he said this quote: "You either elevate or get fired."
simple
That's
as
the
that.
reality of it, right?
Yep,
So if let's just say Dion came to Jackson State and he wasn't winning games, he would have got fired.
yep,
And then by him elevating to Colorado, it's like, all right, how many black coaches are there now in college football? I really don't know too many. I can't name. I'm sure there are, but I can't name one on the top of my head as far as
hmm,
PWI,
right, yep.
right? And he's in
Mm.
Colorado.
Yeah, that says a lot.
that that says a lot, right? And then
Yeah,
by him being in Colorado, like that's just opened up the door for other black men to get into these PWI schools. And let's
yep,
just say he does a good job. Like he's gonna just only increase that those chances of black men getting that job.
yep.
So, um, like I said, we can't have it. We can't have it both ways. He got his sons over there, right?
Yo,
They
yeah,
might have a black quarterback at Colorado. Like, come, you're changing the culture still, just at
yeah.
in a different entirety. Um,
Everywhere he goes, like he's just altering things, and he actually brought some black coaches over with him to Colorado. So
exactly.
is that a sellout? Yeah, I don't get your people sometimes, man.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, um, and then I was listening to Dr. Umar on the Breakfast Club, and he was
Ugh.
talking about that, and I
Okay.
kind of not a love hate relationship with Umar. It's just like some stuff I agree with, some stuff I don't.
Mm-hmm.
And by him calling Deion a sellout is like, I really don't agree with that because he came on a standpoint where, being pro black, you in an opportunity to change these brothers' lives. Um, I think he got like the number one recruiter in the country,
Yep.
Travis Hunter, to come to Jackson State, and
Yep.
then he left, or Dion left. So
Yep.
now Travis probably thinking like, "Hey, hold on, like now I'm stuck here," or he's going to try to get out. But
If he wants to get out, trust me, he's not going to have any
no,
any
he's not.
trouble with that.
He's
So
not. He's
you
not.
know what's funny to your point of this whole thing of we always want to put everything on one person to be a savior, and the whole thing is people don't understand what it takes to be a leader and to create change.
Hmm.
So you put all this pressure on this one person, and the minute they do something that you don't like, now you condemn them. But my question to everyone else is, where was everybody else? What were they doing? If you call somebody a sellout, what were you doing in the first place to help everybody else? Did you
Right.
start donating to that college? Did you donate to any other HBCUs? Are you helping in the community? Are you mentoring somebody? What are you doing? People are so quick to condemn somebody else and call them a sellout, yet they're not doing anything themselves.
Right.
And what this should have been an opportunity for, okay, look what Dion did. Now we all need to build these other schools. Let's everybody, especially alumni and other people, period.
Hmm.
Okay, let's all come together and let's all start doing something. But they
Hmm.
don't do that. They sit around and they want one man, one person to do everything, but you can't lead where people don't follow, and people don't understand that. But they
Hmm.
always want to put everything on that one person. So Dion's a sellout because he simply came there, blew that school up, blew HBCUs, the whole program, gave them attention, and he excelled at what he did, and he got another opportunity, and he
Hmm.
moved up on the chain. So he just because he left, everything should fall. Then it wasn't meant to stand. Then
Right.
if one person leaving destroys everything, it wasn't meant to stand.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
like this whole and Dr. Umar, like, man, it's so easy to condemn everybody else for what they do. And I'm not even going like some stuff. And as funny as he'll start with, some good information, some facts, then he'll take it somewhere else. It's like, dude, where you just and I'm
Right.
not going to get into his whole history of scamming people for these schools and stuff. So I'm not even gonna like you want to play Malcolm when you're really not at all, but it gets you likes and followers. So,
Hmm.
good for you. But yeah, it's just a sad state of affair where we can't be proud and supportive of anybody that actually is doing well. And he's never, like you said, he's still black. Has he ever said anything about the
Right.
black community or put anybody down? And I don't care what anyone says, this man has always operated with integrity.
Hmm.
Everything he's done. I've never seen a bad or negative situation where Dion, lost his cool or he said something he has to apologize for. He's a man and he stands by what he says. He has
Yeah.
integrity, and I gotta rock with that.
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, it just seems that it's our group of people, that tear each other down the most.
Yeah,
You know.
unfortunately. And yo, let me take a step back. So Dion made this point. It came out before, but I didn't know it was true or not until Dion spoke on it. Cause okay, they would sell out right at the stadium. He's like, we sold 60,000 tickets, but I'm only seeing that we only sold 30,000. You say, where's that other 30,000 at?
Right.
Somebody better find that money. And that's the thing. It's we got to be honest. We'll screw each other before somebody else will. You think they
Yeah.
weren't taking advantage of Deion's name and somebody wasn't doing something with that money? Because,
Right.
like you said, where's that money? Because that was the money that was supposed to go to those students. That's the money that Deion came out of his pockets to do. But no one speaks about that, though.
Right.
What he was supposed to do that? No, he's not. No coach is supposed to come out their pocket. He did that because that's the man he is.
Hmm.
And if you're somewhere where you're not appreciated and you're doing the most, why are you going to stay?
Right.
It's not even about hate, but why would I stay to just get abused and used? You're using my name and you're eating off my name. Everybody's eating but me because I'm spending out of my pocket.
Yeah. And just to turn around and his stuff is stolen. So
Yo, like there's gotta be limits. And that's the whole thing. Like, even by ignorant street knowledge or code, there may be certain people you just leave alone because they're helping the hood. You know what I mean? For what he was doing, there should be like a nah.
mhm.
Leave him alone.
Right.
I know we broke, but he doing too much. But apparently that didn't happen around there. Like, so he wasn't protected in any sense. So, but you want him to stay because
Yeah. I
why now?
wonder. I wonder his time there, because he's been there for 3 years, right?
Yep.
I wonder like what the draft prospects was coming out of Jackson State. Like, was anyone drafted?
Mm,
If so, how high? Where they fall in the draft? Um,
that's
yeah,
a
yeah.
yeah.
That just came to my head. Like, I wonder that.
That's a good question.
'Cause
Yeah, I
that's
definitely
part
have
of
to
like
look into it.
creating that change there. Like, yeah, you know, by how big his name is, and him having the success that he has, like record wise. Like, I wonder what's that other half of that success, if any, with
Mm,
the drafting of his players there. But
yeah, I wonder. I mean, maybe if someone came in as a freshman and like 4 years under him, I think it probably have a higher rate of return. But in 3 years, unless they were with him that those full 3 years, let's be
yeah,
honest.
I
When
mean,
scouts, and people are looking at, they're looking at D1 first. Let's be real, right?
right.
So they're going to gauge that talent first before they even really consider an HBCU as far as a talent aspect. Not to say that they're not going to be considered, but
Mhm.
it's it's in, it's difficult. It's not impossible because people have done it, but it's not. You definitely have a better chance in the D1 school trying to go into the league.
So that should even like greater, the support for him going to Colorado, because now, just by his name alone, right? And
Yep,
then being at the school that he is, that went like what, 1-12, right? So
crazy.
now,
Yeah,
upcoming players, they see Dion now, they want to play with Dion.
yep,
Now he's probably going to get like a higher chance of like the top recruiters to come to Colorado,
yep. And
right?
you know what that will lead to? Giving other people a chance to make it,
Hmm.
because that's what Dion's going to do. He's going to build, but he's
Hmm.
just not going to build them as far as like a career. He's going to build them as a person, as a man,
Right.
because he's not there just to, I want to plug you in there. He's trying to pour into these people.
Hmm.
So there's a lot of advantages in going somewhere where someone like that is. He's going to
Right.
pull the talent. This is not hurting his name at all. As far as his career goes, I'll say that.
Right.
just for some reason in our community, it
Hmm.
hurts his name.
Hmm.